All right, all praises, everybody. Shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. For those who don't know my name, I'm Officer Nahum. This is IUIC Raleigh. The title of today's class, Loving Thy Neighbor Includes Their Health, okay? So I know y'all see like the little viruses and stuff like that that's jumping around. Like in the movie Osmosis, you know, I don't know if y'all seen Osmosis Jones back in the days, the little cartoon. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. I like that movie, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're going to touch on a few little things, you know, that's been going on in all the congregations, probably even at your job. Some of you have kids that go to public school or daycare or whatever, you know. There's a lot of folks with germs and stuff like that. They come to work sick. And like I said, we got people that come to the body sick, knowing they sick, but they still come, you know. So we'll touch on a few things here. Let's start with 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. It says let all things, right? Is it some things?
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. So we got to remember that let all things be done decently and in order, right? You know, there's always order and structure in the Most High's kingdom, okay? You know, we here on the earth, you know, he got his people, the Israelites, us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. We are the Israelites. We make up the 12 tribes of Israel. But of course, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying, we still learning as we go right now. You know what I'm saying? We here rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord, right? Matter of fact, get that for me real quick. Give me that in Judges 5 and 11. So, you know, we here rehearsing. We here practice because practice makes perfect. You know, that's, you know, like you had basketball practice. You know, some of y'all may have did dance rehearsal or whatever. Hey, it's the same thing. So read what you got.
The book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noises of the archers.
Say they that are delivered. Who is they? They are is talking about the Israelites. That's us. We are the ones that's going to be delivered from the noise of archer. What does an archer do? An archer is a weapon. Somebody that shoots a bow and arrow, they can shoot it with accuracy. Today we call them like a sharpshooter or a sniper, right? You know, they got a sniper rifle and they able to zero in their weapon and hit their target. So just let you know, read that one more time.
They that are delivered from the noise of the archers.
Right, so they that are delivered from the noise of archer, right? Because you got to remember, an archer, somebody that shoots a bow and arrow, you don't hear it. It's silent, you know what I'm saying? But it kills. It kills its target easy, fast, and quick, right? Read.
In the places of drawing water.
So the places of drawing water is talking about today here in America, which is Babylon the Great, okay? This is the place of our captivity, meaning if you giving somebody water, you a servant to them. You serving them. You know what I'm saying? Just like you go to the restaurant, you got somebody that's serving you, a waiter or waitress, right? Their job is to serve you to make sure you get what you need. But in this position here, you doing the servitude. Right. You working. You the one was on them slave ships that they came and beat across the back and took you over them waters, okay? Read again.
They that are delivered from the noise of the archers and the places of drawing water. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
This is where we're going to practice, rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. That's what's righteous, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments. Here's where we got to get it right at, okay? Here's where we're going to learn. Here's where we're going to be taught it at. And we got to practice it. You know, practice make perfect. You know, you're not going to get it right at first, but, you know, it takes a lot of tries, a lot of rehearsal. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep doing it. Practice make perfect. Read on.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages.
Right. So this is what we had to do in the wilderness, and this is what we got to do now. And also when we go back to the wilderness, there will be a second Exodus, you know what I'm saying, for those who don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's when we get delivered in them chariots. The chariot's going to take us off back to the wilderness, and then we got to get taught all over again. You know, some things we may be doing right, and there's some things possibly we may not be doing right. But we will know in that day when that time come, okay? So go back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
So let all things be done decently and in order, because there's been an order put out. Hey, if you sick, brother, you sick, sister, you sick, hey, stay home if you're not feeling well. Don't try to come around your brother. Don't be overzealous or overrighteous much. You know what I'm saying? Just because you want to congregate, but you still risk the chance of getting everybody else sick around you. Your fellow brothers, your sisters, your little nieces, your nephews, because we all family in here, okay? We all the same people, but we gotta have charity for one another, okay? Give me jump to verse 33. Go ahead.
Verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
Right. Say God, he's not the author of confusion. You know what I'm saying? That's man. Man causes confusion. You got man-made religion. You got all that stuff. And like when we was in Christianity, or you was probably in the Muslim mosque or whatever, temple or whatever you was going to worship at, you went in there sick. You know what I'm saying? The pastor tell you, oh, all you got to do is this and that. But we can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? There's all type of sicknesses that's out there that'll kill a baby. It'll kill one of our elderly men or women that's here. Because when you're a baby or when you're elderly, hey, your immune system is weak. It's not strong. You don't got a strong immune system. So that little common cold that you think you may have, because you done self-diagnose yourself. A lot of us don't want to go to the hospital, scared of the doctor. But we'll touch on that too later on in the lesson. But I'm just bringing out, going over the little rambling thing here. But righteous rant is what we call it. So read that again.
For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace.
Right. God is about peace. You know what I'm saying? Where? Read.
As in all the churches of the saints.
Right. In the churches, right here where we come to congregate, in the sanctuaries, he's about peace, order, and structure, not confusion. That's if there's any confusion, anything like that going around, it's sin. There's evil, there's Satan in the midst of that, okay? Not the Lord. All right. So go back to the title or the picture or whatever, the thumbnail. Go back to that on there. Okay, so it says loving thy neighbor includes their health, right? So if you love your neighbor, we hear the saying, love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? So loving thy neighbor includes their health, okay? Because you don't want nobody coming around you and they sick. You won't want nobody coming to your house and they sick and they bring all them germs to your crib, right? Next thing you know, you got to bleach the whole house and Lysol it down, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't want to, nobody wants to go through that. You done already cleaned your house and somebody's just tracking in all that germs and dirt. So IT, give me let's go with love real quick. Give me that first definition, number one, about love. Let's read what love means. And let's scroll down some real quick. Let's see here real quick. I know I forgot. Okay, let me see. Scroll down. All right, hold on. Go back up real quick. Go back up. And let's see. Hold that right there. Let me see. He loved his sister dearly. Okay, so let's go to that definition there. Go down just a little bit. Right there. Like it says, feel deep affection for someone, right? And let's see here real quick. He loved, like it give you an example. He loved his sister dearly. We love our brothers, we love our sisters. So we have love, affection one to another because we care about each other, right? I'm gonna love you like I love myself, so I'm gonna treat you like how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna come around you sick. I ain't gonna come around you, with all type of, diseases or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I can spread that or risk that you catching that because it may affect you different. The next person, you know what I'm saying? They may have it, they may not even have symptoms, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just a runny nose, but they come around and the next person catch it, guess what? They got the full blown out pneumonia, not in the hospital. Just from that, what you thought you had a common cold might have been COVID, might have been, the flu, different variations of the flu or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want to show you you know, what that love here is right here, right? So go to Matthew chapter 22 and verse 36 real quick. Matthew chapter 22 and verse 36.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Right, so we know this is one of the greatest commandments, right? You got to love the Most High God with all thy heart and all thy soul. Read.
This is the first and great commandment.
Right, go ahead.
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hear that? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That's if you can apply both of those, that means you keeping everything. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you could be breaking any of the law, statutes, and commandments if you applying this right here, okay? So read on.
On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Right. On these two commandments hang all the law and all the prophets. That's what you read in Exodus chapter 20. You know, you got the 10 commandments, right? Then you got, 600 something, law, statutes, and commandments, right? If you apply those, if you're doing everything, that means you completing, you're doing what thus said the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 and 17 real quick. Leviticus 19 and 17. So we're going to take it back to where, what Christ was quoting this from, okay? Because everything that you will read, you'll read about it in the Old Testament, right? So read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
We shouldn't hate one another in our minds, right? We shouldn't have hatred toward one another. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
I mean, to correct one another. We should have that love to correct one another. I see him going off, I'm going to let him know. He see me going off, let me know what I'm doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that way we both show love to one another. That's how we have love in our nation. But there's hatred when you don't say nothing to one another. Go ahead, read on.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right. We shouldn't have no vengeance toward one another, want to do harm or evil to each other, nor bear any grudge. If you have a grudge turns into hatred. Okay, read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
He said, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. You know what I'm saying? We see one another. If I'm healthy, hey, I want you to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they got this different type of medicine. They got these different type of things you can take. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If you're able to take it, this will help me out. I'm gonna hip you on to the what do you call it? We call it the precept or the doctrine or whatever. I'm gonna put you on this. This right here will get you well. But some people will hold on to information. They know that it can help the next man or the next woman, but like in the world, that mindset we had in the world was what you call crabs in a barrel. You don't want to tell this person nothing because you don't want them to over-succeed you or pass you or something like that. So a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, grew up like that. That mindset being selfish about it's me, myself, and I. Just like old Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying, the old song. But read that scripture again.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
That's the commandment there, right there. Hey, you got to love your neighbor as you love yourself, okay? So you got to have that respect for one another, all right? So let's see here real quick. Let me see, I got a quick question here real quick. I'm going to ask you men real quick, you men in the black shirt, not you purple shirt brothers. Who is your neighbor? Who's your neighbor they talking about in this scripture right here? What are they talking about? Somebody raise it. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, stand up. Okay. Yes. Okay. That I could go with that. Those that keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Your fellow brothers and sisters, Israelites, even those that's outside, you know what I'm saying, that's not a part of us, that ain't awoke, you know what I'm saying, because you got to be that righteous example to them. to show them, what love, how to love yourself, how to love your neighbor, because our people, we don't, a lot of us didn't know that, So that's I like that answer. That's a good answer there. So real quick, somebody give me a scripture about love. What is love? Somebody give me who let me see who got their hands. Let me see any spiritual hands raised up. Who know the scripture to tell you what is love in the Bible? Who we got? Just pass the mic to one of them. Okay.
Shalom, leadership. This is Brother Nathaniel. Love is keeping the commandments. I believe that's John 3 and 4 or 2 and 4. I'm not sure, but I can find it for you if you need me to. But
say it again. Call the scripture again.
John's 3 and 4.
You close. You close to it. Think about it. You got. You're gonna pass it to them. You close.
Shalom.
You close. But go ahead.
Shalom, leadership. You can find that in 1 John 5 and 3.
Okay, 1 John 5 and 3. There we go. Okay, so get that for me, 1 John 5 and 3 real quick. So, if you ever on the street and you're talking to a fellow brother or sister or your family member that's not in the truth, hey, you got to be able to prove all things. You take them to the scripture and show them. This is, basic scripts. Read what you got.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God.
It said, for this is the love of God. Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
Keep his commandments.
And his commandments are not grievous.
They're not hard to do. You know what I'm saying? His commandments are not hard to do, right? So go to 2 John 2 and 6, if I'm correct. 2 John 2 and 6. You know the other script.
The book of 2 John, chapter 2 and verse 6. For this is love.
For this is love, right? This is the other love script right here. Say, for this is love. Go ahead.
That we walk after his commandments.
That we walk after his commandments.
This is the commandments that as ye have heard from the beginning.
Right. So this is the commandments as ye have heard from the beginning. Okay. Because when you go back to when we read about Cain and Abel, you know what I'm saying? When Cain killed Abel, right? Hey, he didn't have no love for his brother. You know what I'm saying? He was jealous. Time passed. So he ended up killing his brother. He had hatred. And that grudge or whatever, he had that envy spirit in him. And next thing you know, he ended up slewing his brother, killed him, right? So give me John 15 and 14 real quick. So we'll see what Christ say about love here, okay? Christ says something also here too about the love script. Read what you got.
The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15.
Yeah, 14 and 15.
If ye love me, keep my commandments.
So he said the same thing. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's what Christ said. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. It's not that hard. Is there more to it? No? All right, so with that, let's see here real quick. I got a question. The question to ask the crowd real quick. Let's see here real quick. Does love come automatically? Are you born with love? Does that come automatically? Or does it have to be taught to you? That's the question there. Somebody raised their hand. Who got? I see people looking around. Don't be nervous.
Hey, shalom, sir.
Yes, sir.
It has to be taught to you.
Say it has to be taught to you. Okay, all praises. You got a scripture?
Nah.
Not yet. Anybody else? You pass the mic to him. But you're right. You're correct. It got to be taught. You know what I'm saying? This thing doesn't come natural. That's what I meant. I don't know how I put automatically, but it doesn't come naturally. You know what I'm saying? Love got to be taught to you. Nobody has a precept for that? Okay, so let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 9. Let's get that real quick. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 9. When you get it, go ahead and read it.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 9. But as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of God to love one another.
Hear that? Read that again.
But as touching brotherly love.
So as touching brotherly love or sisterly love, you know what I'm saying? We're a brotherhood. The Bible's written in and what do you call it? And man, and the man spirit, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know what I'm saying? But it's still talking about all of us as a whole, okay? So read that again.
But as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you. For ye yourselves are taught of God to love one another.
Right, to love one another, right? Got to have that love towards your brother. Got to have love towards your sister. We got to have love toward our people, okay? Why? Because our people has no love with all the gangs, the division, you know, all this stuff was put on us during slavery. You know, once we forgot who we were, now Esau done conquered and divided us. Even the other nations, wherever we scattered abroad amongst the four corners of the earth, there's always some sort of hatred or division amongst us, okay? Whether it's a belief, the neighborhood you live in. I live on this side of town. Y'all live on that side of town. I'm part of this gang. You part of that gang. It's always some confusion. And then, you know what? 9 times out of 10, them people related. I'm talking about literally blood related to each other. You know what I'm saying? They cousins, but they beefing against each other over foolishness, right? So that thing has to be taught to you, right? So go to let's go to John chapter 13 and verse 34. John 13 and 34. It's got to be taught. This thing doesn't come naturally, okay? You got it?
Sir. The book of John chapter 13 and verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you.
Right. So we got to ask ourselves, he says a new commandment that I give unto you. You know, this commandment is not new. This is the old commandment, okay? But he said, I got to give it to you again. So it's going to be new because it wasn't taught to them. Go ahead.
That ye love one another as I have loved you. That ye also love one another.
Right, that you also love one another. Read on.
By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have loved one another.
Right, so we one of Christ's disciples, which is we are the disciples of Christ today, right? We are here, we teaching the word, we bringing forth our brothers and sisters the truth, the gospel, the true gospel, the good news that they need to hear. You know what I'm saying? That's us that's doing that. Everybody ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is teaching about prosperity, different doctrines, selling bean pies, worshiping idols, you name it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the true gospel. They don't have the truth. You guys got the truth. We got the truth. Why? Because we, the Israelites, we the ones walking in God's law, statutes, and commandments today, okay? All right? So it's letting you know this thing got to be taught, right? So now go to Titus 2 and 4 real quick. Titus chapter 2 and verse 4. So just like the sisters, right? Y'all sisters got to be taught this. You know, hey, this don't come natural. Read what you got.
The book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober.
That we see here the word said teach, right? That they may teach the young women to be what?
To be sober.
Right, because that thing has to be taught, right? Once you're coming out of the world, think about it, you know, all the clubs, the bars, and all that stuff. Everybody used to go to the club. Some of us get towed up before the club. You know what I'm saying? You get drunk. Some of you were smoking weed or whatever you was doing, you was not sober, okay? Then you leave the club, you know, not being sober. Read.
To love their husbands.
Right, so now the women got to be taught to be sober and to love their husband. It doesn't come natural. You got to be taught that. The only way you're going to be taught that is the Bible, okay? Read.
Right. To love their children.
Oh, man, hold on. You got to be taught to love the kids, too? Yeah, you got to think about that. You know, how the Most High, how he told the women, you know, he compared them to ostriches. You know what I'm saying? You know, our women, you know, I'm going to say a lot of our women that's out there in the world, hey, they leave their kids home alone. You know what I'm saying? They go to the club. There's been videos and stories of women leaving the kids at home for weeks, and they go out of town and left the kids there, and the kids starve to death, or the kids get you know, something bad happens. Why? Because the parents don't care about the children. You know what I'm saying? Also the man too, you know, same thing, you know, that's, you know, you got a lot of deadbeat fathers and all that. They don't care about the kids, right? So read that again.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children,
Read.
To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands.
Be obedient to their own husbands, right? Because a lot of women don't know how to be obedient to their lords. You know what I'm saying? This thing has to be taught. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, the husband don't know how to love his wife properly. And unless he reads the Bible, unless she reads the Bible, and thus said the Lord, will tell you how to love one another. Read.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
Hear that? That the word of God be not blasphemy, okay? And that's the key thing. We don't want to blaspheme the Lord, okay? That's something that because you can't be forgiven for being blasphemous, okay? All right? So with that, let's jump up to verse 1 real quick. Titus 2:1. Read that.
Verse 1. But speak thou the things which becometh sound doctrine.
Right. So now these things that we just read, those are attributes of sound doctrine, right? So we got to find out what is sound doctrine, right? Give me number 2 real quick. IT, give me number 2. So let's see what this sound talking about real quick. Scroll down real quick. Scroll down. Just scroll down kind of slow, but scroll down real quick. This to show you what the meaning sound is talking about. I ain't talking about the noise and all that stuff. It's got different meanings. Scroll down. All right, hold on for a minute. Go back up real quick. Right there. Okay. Let's say sound means like to make known, you know what I'm saying? Or to order, to signal, and to indicate by sound, right? Scroll down real quick. There's more to it. Okay, go down. Okay, right there. Go back up. Go back up. All right, right there. So sound means goes into a solid or firm or stable. You know what I'm saying? A solid word. This is solid right here. This is strong right here. That's what this is going into. So the sound doctrine, right? So now give me number 3. Give me definition number 3 about doctrine real quick. So now we go into the doctrine right here. So read that right. Read that number 1 right there. Number 1A.
A principle or position or the body of principles in a branch of knowledge or system of belief.
Right, in a branch of knowledge or systems of belief, right? Because this is what we believe in right here. So this is the sound doctrine, okay, that's going on. Read that B too. Read B.
B. A statement of fundamental government policy, especially in international relations.
Right, so because this is how we used to govern ourselves. We govern ourselves with these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? There was rules and regulations when we were in our own kingdom. We was in our own country, okay? Read that, C.
A principle of law established through the past decisions.
Through the past decision. What else? Read that.
A military principle or set of strategies. Something that is taught.
Right. All this got to be taught to us, right? So let's go. I didn't have this in my notes, but go to Malachi 2:7 real quick. You remember that one part? Remember where it says knowledge right there, right? So we got to find out what knowledge is according to the Bible, right? So read that.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
So the Bible lets us know the priest's lips should keep knowledge, right? Read.
And they should seek the law.
Who is they? That's us Israelites. And they, the people that's listening, should seek the what?
Should seek the law at his mouth.
At his mouth, right? Meaning at the pastor's mouth. So read it from the top one more time.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
So remember, his lips should keep knowledge. The key word is lips. Go ahead.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Remember, your lips and your mouth is the same thing. So it let you know what the knowledge of God is, the laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? So that's what the knowledge is right there, right? So now go to, let's see here real quick. I want you to go to, so we got that point there, what that knowledge is. Go to Proverbs 4:2 real quick. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 2, just to back that up, what the doctrine is. You got it?
The book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
Hear that? So he said, I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. Just letting you know that the law and the doctrine is all in synonymous the same, okay? So now go to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5 real quick. Deuteronomy 4 and 5. So just to show you how, what we just read it went into government, to how what do you call it? How country, how they governs themselves, right? So read that right there.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Right.
That you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
Right. So it's letting us know, Moses was told, like, hey, look, go teach the people, go teach the Israelites, give them these law, statutes, and commandments, and this is how what they're supposed to take with them when they get into the land of Israel, right, which was called the land of Canaan at that time. Read on.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of all the nations.
Hear that? This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of all the nations. Okay, everybody, they're gonna hear these laws. They're gonna listen. They're gonna be like, man, these people got this stuff together. Okay, there's no confusion. Remember, the Most High is not the author of confusion, like it said in 1 Corinthians 14:33. Everything is about order and structure, like in 1 Corinthians, like in verse 40, 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. So let all things be done decency and order. Read verse 6 again.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So other people will look, other nations will be like, this is a wise and understanding nation right here. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember let's say like even during the dark ages, right? We wasn't in our right. We wasn't keeping all the commandments and stuff like that. We wasn't right during the dark ages. But we had to go and civilize Esau. Esau was eating lice and all that stuff. They was nasty. They had dogs and, not dogs and cats, but they had cows, farm animals inside the house. A cow will poop every second like a bird. You know what I'm saying? It's made to be outside to poop to fertilize the land. But they had, those type of animals inside the house. So just imagine how the house looked and how it smelled. You know what I'm saying? Because they had animals them damn selves. All right, so go ahead, read that verse 6 again.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding.
So you keeping the commandments, this is how you gain wisdom and understanding by application. Okay, read.
In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Read.
For what nation is there so great, which have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?
Right, because, at this time here, we was able to call on the Lord if we needed help. If we was going through something, other nations came to try to fight against us, all we had to do was call upon the Lord, and he would blast them away. You know what I'm saying? He'd get them off of us. He'd send his angel down there to fight for us. We had stuff like that. I'm going to call it, today we would call it miracles, things that we wouldn't understand today, but Most High will make something happen and move those other armies out of the way if we called upon him. But the key thing is the two-letter word, you got to be keeping the commandments, right? But read on.
And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
Right, because this is us when we was in our own land. This is how we govern ourselves. We had our own government. We did our own judgments. We did everything according to thus said the Lord. That's what this Bible here, this is the book of the law right here, okay? This was only given to us. It wasn't given to nobody else, all right? So let's go to, let me see here real quick what I have here. All right, let's go to give me number 4, definition number 4. So, and the reason why I'm bringing this up about congregate, right? We all know, what I'm saying, this is a commandment for us to congregate, right? So, and this is what congregate means. Read that.
Congregate, gather into a crowd or mass.
Right, so that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to congregate. We're supposed to gather into a crowd or a mass, right? So go to Zephaniah 2:1 real quick. Zephaniah 2:1, because this is something that's commanded to us, right? Read what you got once you get it. I know it's one of them little hard books to find. Yes, he's flipping through, sound like some pigeons over there.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, Gather together, O nation not desired.
So we commanded to come together, right? We that nation that's not desired today in Babylon the Great, you know, whether we here in America, Great Britain, or we even in the islands of the Caribbean, or in Africa, or, you know what I'm saying, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, you know, wherever we scattered at, we are going through some stuff, okay? And we got to come together. We got to gather ourselves together. But it don't say, you know what I'm saying, it's not saying we come together while we sick. This is where you got wisdom and understanding, you know what I'm saying, to know, hey, if I ain't feeling well, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to come to the school and try to spread those germs to the rest of the congregation. Because guess what? Once we start doing that, you know, you're going to have nothing but sick people. Then we got to shut the school down. Then nobody can congregate. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody got to sit at home and watch class, and you can't come amongst your fellow brothers and sisters because the school shut down because, you know, somebody was, hey, I got to come to the school. I got to congregate. Sneezing. You waking up, you know, you got snot hanging all the way down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got crushed in your eye, you got pink eye. You know what I'm saying? All these highly contagious, sicknesses that, you know, that come upon us. You know, we might have caught it from work, you know, or you might have went to the store, you touched the buggy, somebody sick went in there and they touched it, now you sick, you know. But you got to know, you know your own body, you know when you feeling 100%. All right? So read that again, Zephaniah 2:1.
Yes, sir. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right, gather together, O nation not desired. You know, because we love to come. We all that's a good spirit in order for us want to come together. But we got to know when and when, you know, and when not to. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and place for everything. You know, matter of fact, go to Ecclesiastes 3 in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 3:1, real quick. I forgot to even bring that up. It just came to mind. Sometimes that's how the spirit work. You know what I'm saying?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right. So it's let you know there's a time and a purpose for everything. You know what I'm saying? As we read on down, you know, it'll tell you there's a time for this, there's a time for that. You know, it's a time for everything. But, you know, like you said, you have to know your own body, your own self. If you're not feeling well, you're not 100%, your body you feeling weird, you achy, you got the cold chills, the hot flashes, you sitting there, you sweating, and you got the fan blasted, you know you shouldn't be sweating, you know, or you outside and it's cold right now, and you started sweating, something wrong, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your body and know when to, you know, and have that charity, that love for one another, you know what I'm saying, not to try to, you know, spread those germs amongst the congregation, right? So go to Leviticus chapter 23:1. You know, just showing you more stuff here about us that, you know, how we commanded to come together, but also Most High give you wisdom and understanding to know when, to give you that, to know there's a time for everything, okay? Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Holy convocations, meaning gatherings, right? These are separate gatherings that we come together on feast days. Okay, read.
Even these are my feasts.
He said, these are my feasts too as well, right? So he's letting you know we got to come together, right? Read.
6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation.
Right, so like today, we here on the Sabbath, right? This is the weekly Sabbath, and we come together. It's a holy convocation for us. It's commanded for us to come together. Read.
Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
Read.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right, we shall proclaim in their seasons, meaning the times that come, the dates. You know, we know this time of the year, and, you know, we know from this new moon to that new moon, these days you count, you know, after the new moon, you know, you will know when this feast day is going to come, right, and how to observe it. Observe it. I'm talking about absorb it. But, you know what I'm saying, we know how to observe those high holy days. But, you know what I'm saying, but we got to know when to come together, when, you know, when the timing is right of ourselves to have love and charity for your neighbor, okay? All right, so go to Hebrews 10 and 25 real quick. So, like, Hebrews 10 and 25 is another time where we you know how we had like an outing or something. You know, we may have an outing this outside of the Sabbaths or feast days. So we may have a family gathering at the end of the month. Hey, let's all meet at the park. You know, or let's all go to a restaurant. Let's all do this. You know, and those be fun and good times. You know what I'm saying, that we all would like to, you know, do, because you may have your children there and the kids, they enjoy that thing. But also, a lot of us like to bring our kids, knowing our kids be sick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be good, but your kid's sick. And you still bring the kid to the school, you know what I'm saying, to the school or the congregation. Read what you got.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Right, it says, not forsaking the assembly, meaning of us coming together. It said, don't forsake that thing, you know what I'm saying? If you can come, when it's time for you to make it out there, come on out there. Come and fellowship. You know what I'm saying? If you're 100% healthy and all, hey, come on out there. You know, there's no excuse for you not to come unless you was forced to work or something like that. You couldn't get the time off, or if you just out of town or whatever, you know. But, you know what I'm saying? But if you sick, you got, you know, somebody that's you know, that you want to bring, and you know they sick, like your child or children, hey, don't do that. Now you risk messing up everything. Now nobody can come together. Now the school shut down, everything. You know what I'm saying? We got to put the red tape up, the yellow tape, like somebody got murdered or something. But go ahead, read it from the top.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
Because we do have people who don't want to congregate. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to come amongst their brothers and sisters. Because this is where you're going to learn. This is where you're going to be taught. This is where you're going to get correction, okay? And when you learn from the correction, meaning that we ain't talking about no harsh correction. We're just talking about, hey, brother, you know, you supposed to have fringes on, man. You know what I'm saying? Sister, you know, we wear fringes every day, not just, you know, not just on the Sabbath, or, you know what I'm saying, you know, these certain laws come in. You know, I'm talking about small things, you know, and that's what we there for. It's like you playing the old ping pong game. You go to the little arcade thing, but you got the little ping pong. You hit the ball, and the ball bounces, ping, 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 ping. Hey, that's the little correction that we get. And that's how you learn. And guess what? You're able to pass that same love and correction to the next brother. That go back to what we read in Leviticus 19 and 17. You know what I'm saying? You know, rebuke your brother or rebuke your sister, you know, to show that brotherly, sisterly love. All right? Read that verse again.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another.
Right. In order to exhort somebody, you got to be around each other, right? Go ahead.
And so much the more, as ye see the day approaching.
Right, as you see the day approaching. So, yeah, you might have missed out one day because you sat home because you were sick. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be another time, you know, Lord's willing. You know, then, like you said, it'll be another time to gather. There'll be another event. Something comes up. Then you got to remember, you know, we got the weekly Sabbath. We guarantee to see each other. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just don't be no individual like. That's what we call an individual like, those that want to stay home alone and stay to themselves. Why? Because they in some kind of secret sin. They smoking weed secretly, or they doing something they got no business doing, and they don't want to be corrected. All right? Okay, so go to definition number 5 real quick. Definition number 5, the health, okay? Get that for me. Definition number 5. All right. Read that right there.
Health, the condition of being sound in body, mind, or spirit.
Right, so this is another way of health. The condition of being sound means solid. That sound means solid in body, and in mind and or spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's everything about you. You know what I'm saying? Go to scroll down. Go to number 2, that 2A.
A condition which someone or something is thriving or doing well.
or your well-being. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we do. You know, we check. You know what I'm saying? Us being the leaders, you know what I'm saying? Leaders of the school. You know, our job is to check the state of the flock. You know, we ask questions. That's why, you know, y'all have point of contacts or you have leadership or a chain of command for you to reach out to. So, like, if you're sick, you're not feeling well, communicate. Communicate that thing. Let your, you know, the person that's appointed over you know what's going on so they can pass that information up. You know, if you're sick, we pass out a sick form. You know, there's a sick form that's on the Telegram. You know, or, you know, like you said, you know, once you fill that form out, it lets us know, okay, we got this many sick people, or this person is sick. You know, we may call and check up on you. You know, if you're sick for a long time or get hospitalized, we may come out to visit you or send you a care package or something. You know, these things that we got to know. But if we don't know, if you don't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? You can't blame us because, you know, closed mouth don't get fed, right? Let me see. We're gonna go to that in a minute. Hold on for a minute. Give me Proverbs 27 and 23 real quick. So this is what we as leaders, this is our job, what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Once we come amongst each other, once we see what you know, somebody's, you know, not doing well, go ahead and read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and to look well to thy herds.
Right, because we the flock. You remember, we the lost sheep, right? We the sheep of the Most High. So as leaders, you know what I'm saying, we got to check on the sheep, the flock. We got to check on the herds. We got to check on to make sure everybody, is doing well. Everybody's healthy. That's your health and welfare and wellness, okay? That's what we call it. We may do a health and wellness check. Let's say the weather get bad. We have the brothers and sisters go reach out to everybody that's under you and find out how they doing. Make sure they got electricity, so the heat is on. Make sure they got water, the water not turned off or the pipes not busted, you know, or, I mean, you know, all these different things. We want to make sure everybody's good because we don't want nobody getting harmed or hurt, right? So give me Hebrews 13:17 real quick. Hebrews chapter 13, 17. We're going to flip through some books, man. You know what I'm saying? Give y'all some of this good word. Read what you got.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 17.
Read.
Obey them that have rule over you.
Right. So the Bible say, obey them that have the rule over you. Not saying we lords over the flock or we're going to overrule y'all or whatever. You know, there's always, you got to remember, there's always order and structure. You always have somebody appointed under someone. Just like Esau, you know, he may be appointed over you. You may have a woman appointed over you. You may have a man or whatever, you know, that you got to answer to on your job or even at the school. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do for a living. So you got to, you always got to answer to somebody. You have to obey them, meaning show them respect, okay? Be submissive. Read.
Obey them that have rule over you and submit yourselves.
Right. So you got to be able to have submission, meaning you got to be humble. Okay, you got to be humble to those who are over you. Why? Read.
For they watch for your soul.
That's our job, is to watch for your soul. That's why you go in Ezekiel 3. It says son of man, watch. You know what I'm saying? We watchmen. You know, let us know you got to be watchmen. You got to watch over the flock. That's our job, is to make sure everybody is doing well, is doing what they're supposed to do. You know, there's any questions, any issues, hey, that's what we here. That's what we're here for. That's where the counsel comes in, okay? Read.
As they that must give an account.
Because we got to give an account. You know, they may say, where's Brother Mark at? You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen Brother Mark in a long time. We ain't seen Sister Susanna in a long time. Where's she been at? What's going on with her? You know, hey, somebody has to have a report on that person. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have weekly reports on one another. You know, hey, how's this brother doing? How's this sister doing? You know what I'm saying? Is this person ready to become a member, or this person not ready to become a member? You know what I'm saying? Or how's this person report in this office? Are they doing a good job? Yay or nay? It ain't no different than, you know, on your work, on your job or whatever. You get, a progress report. They check on you. They make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, and that's how you get promotion and stuff like that. But all that's of the Most High, though. The Lord will raise you up, right? So read that verse from the top again, verse 17.
Verse 17. Obey them that have rule over you,
Uh-huh.
and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
That's our job, to be a watchman, to watch for the souls of the people. Read.
As they that must give an account,
Accountability. Go ahead.
that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Right. I shouldn't be like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look after him. I'm tired of him. You know what I'm saying? He a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or a female say the same thing. I don't like her. You know, we can't be like that. That's how the worldly Negro in the world, that's how they act. Okay? That's why you may go to somewhere to get customer service, and then they treat you like crap. That's that spirit right there. You know what I'm saying? But we shouldn't have that spirit on us, because we got to have that love and care for one another. Okay, read on.
That they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Uh-huh.
For that is unprofitable for you.
It'll be unprofitable for you, right? But let's see here real quick. Jump to verse 16 real quick, because this is the part right here where, you know, hey, now those that are appointed over you, when they reach out to you, and some of y'all may not answer the phone, some of y'all don't want to call, you lack on your communication. Read.
Verse 16. But to do good and to communicate.
Hear that? He said, but to do good and to what?
Communicate.
Uh-huh.
Forget not.
Don't forget that thing. Why?
For with such sacrifices, God is well pleased.
Hear that? God is well pleased when you communicate, okay? You know what I'm saying? We always got to communicate with one another. Give me Malachi 3:16 real quick. Got to have that communication. Got to talk constantly to one another to help build each other up in this walk. Go ahead.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another.
Right, here that said, they that fear the Lord, those that fear the Lord is you keeping these commandments, right? So those that keep the commandments of God spake often one to another. You know what I'm saying? This is how you able to bless somebody, pray for them, or you know what I'm saying, you talk with them. This help uplift your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, we going through it all day, you know, working these 9-to-5 jobs. We going through these trials and tribulations, and we need each other to help uplift one another. You know what I'm saying? That's why you would reach out to your leaders, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we got to communicate. And then communication it's a two-way street. But if you don't never talk to your, you know, the person that's appointed over you, hey, that's an issue there. The question is, who are you talking to? You talking to mom, dad, that's not in the truth, you know what I'm saying? They're going to give you worldly advice or worldly counsel, and you'll see how far that goes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be a righteous counsel. They're going to give you the wrong stuff. Then you'll end up coming you're going to end up coming back to seek counsel, but you done already jumped the gun and did something that you shouldn't have done when you could have came here to the right side and spoke to your fellow leaders, you know what I'm saying, to get the righteous counsel, okay? All right, so read that again.
Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord hearkened and heard it.
Hear that? The Lord hearkened and heard that conversation, right? Read.
And a book of remembrance was written before him.
Hear that? It said a book of remembrance was written before him, meaning you got to remember, we all have angels that's assigned to us that watches and sees and record everything we do. That's what you read about in when you go to Revelation chapter 20. It said, and the books were open, right? And the book of the law, right? So those books that were open, those are the books that how you lived your life according to the law, statutes, and commandments. All that stuff going to be put out during the day of judgment, okay? So read.
A book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name.
That feared the Lord. Those that kept the commandments and that thought upon his name, okay? That's you keeping the commandments, that's you communicating and everything. Hey, all that stuff, you'll have good attributes. We got to hope our good outweigh our bad. That's one thing in that day of judgment. But the main thing is focus on the good. Always do good, okay? Don't do bad, all right? So now go to, let's go here real quick. Go to 1 Peter's 5 and 1. 1 Peter's chapter 5 and verse 1.
The The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, whom I also am an elder, and the witness of suffering of Christ, and also partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
Right, this Peter talking, right? Go ahead.
Feed the flock of God.
Here they said, feed the flock of God. How are we going to feed y'all? Through, with Matthew 4 and 4. It says, we're going to get fed that spiritual food, okay? That spiritual water. That's the spiritual nourishment that you got to get. You know what I'm saying? We're going to feed you through these words. Go ahead.
Feed the flock of God, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not with filthy lucre, but of all readiness of mind.
Right, meaning we're not going to be no wicked pastor or what you done had in the Christian church or the mosque. You were sending your money, hey, that joker riding in a Lamborghini, or he got a jet and all that. Y'all got to, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people wasn't thinking during that time, you know what I'm saying? You giving the pastor all his money and nothing prospering for you. Yeah, good things happening for him because he's taking all your money. And you still living in the ghettos and the slums and the projects. You got to ask yourself that. Or you working that 9 to 5. Go ahead.
Neither as being lords over God's inheritance.
Right, because we're not supposed to be lords over the flock, meaning you're going to be ruled with rigor. We're not, or be evil toward the people that's appointed under you. We're not supposed to be like that. Read.
But being examples to the flock.
That's our job, is to be an example, right, to follow, a role model to follow. Go ahead.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
That's to get in the kingdom. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder.
Hear that? Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Go ahead. That's the leaders. Go ahead.
Yea, all of you, be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility.
Be clothed with humility, right? Gotta be humble, right? Go ahead.
For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble.
Right. He said he resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble. You know what I'm saying? Humble, meek. You got to have that meekness spirit. It's the same thing. And that's how Moses was the meekest of them all during his time, okay? That's one reason why the Most High, how he dealt with him. I mean, he was willing to listen. He was humble. He was able to receive it and deliver the message, all right? So now, give me Acts 20 and 28 real quick. Go to Acts 20 and 28. Just giving you more, more attributes of what the leader's supposed to do with the flock. Okay, go ahead.
The book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over which the Holy Ghost have made you overseers, to feed the church of God.
That's our job, is to feed the church of God. This is what we're giving you, the spiritual food right here. You know what I'm saying? You got to get this right here. This is what's going to help you grow in this truth, right? Go ahead.
Which he have purchased with his own blood.
Which he have purchased with his own blood, right? Go to Matthew 4 and 4 real quick. Matthew 4 and 4. And then we're going to get 1 Peter, 2 and 1 as well. Go ahead and get that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 4.
This is the spiritual stuff we're supposed to feed you. Go ahead.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Hear that? That's what we're supposed to be feeding you, this word. This is the mouth of God, the Bible right here, okay? Thus saith the Lord. That's where we're going to, this is where you're going to seek God's word. This is his mouth right here. And the leaders or today's the bishops and all them, we just a microphone. We just the speaker to bring out what thus saith the Lord. Most High give us the wisdom, and our job is to prophesy, okay? All right, so go to First Peter 2 and 1 real quick. Just like the old, what we're about to read here. Go ahead and read.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile.
That's 1 Peter 2 and 1? I mean, 2 and 2? I'm sorry.
2 and 2, yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word.
Hear that? As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word. What does milk do? It does a body good. How many of y'all know about that old commercial? I know some of y'all youngins don't know about that. Yeah, so we know milk does a body good, right? Read it again.
As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
That ye may grow thereby. Go ahead.
If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto the lively stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious.
Right. So, but the key thing I want is to let you know that's that spiritual food right there. So we know some brothers, they, we got brothers and sisters that are new in the truth. You can't eat the meat. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you have to be weaned with that thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to drink milk. Well, they give me Hebrews 5:12 real quick. Hebrews 5:12. So that's where that go into. Hebrews 5:12 will touch on it real quick. You got it?
Yes, sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
Right, because you got to be taught all over again. Why? Because we was in whatever doctrine or whatever belief we thought we were in. We thought we knew something, but we didn't know nothing. So now you got to be taught all over again. Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God. And are become such as have need of milk.
You need milk, right? What we just read in 1 Peter 2:2, right? Go ahead.
And not of strong meat.
Not a strong meat. Strong meat is going to the deep mysteries and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? All that, the secret stuff, right? Go ahead.
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness.
Right, meaning you don't know all the law, statutes, and commandments, so you got to be bottle fed. It takes time, you know what I'm saying, or breastfed or whatever, that it takes those little things, and you got to grow. Your body start getting the bones in it and the marrow, get all the nutrients it need. Now you start to grow. Now you can chew on some meat, because if not, you would have choked. Go ahead.
For he is a babe, but strong meat belongeth to them that are full age.
It says strong meat belong unto them that are full age. Go ahead.
Even those who by reason of useth their sensitive exercise to discern.
Read it again, verse 14.
Verse 14. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age. Even those by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Right. So that's when you get up there later on, since you start getting rank, you get up there, you're able to teach, you're able to bring out the stuff, you know what I'm saying? You done been through stuff, you done seen things, you got experience, right? And that's what help build your senses, to discern both good and evil. You know what I'm saying? When you're a babe, you don't know anything what's right or wrong. Think about it, you young, you touching stuff, your mom had a pop you in your hand, you know what I'm saying, for you to fall back. Then you realize, I can't do that. Mom gonna hit my hand, you know what I'm saying? Or you may touch something and get burnt. Once it take you that one time to get burnt, you know not to play around in that area no more, right? So those are the reasons of exercise, what it's talking about, the experience, okay? And that's like, that's why we have the evening class. You got the bishop and them bringing out some strong, heavy stuff, and that's why sometimes you be like, man, what is he talking about? What, or some questions you may have some deep questions, but it's not ready for you to understand that, because you got to stay on the basic fundamentals, which is the basics, okay? Just like you build a house, everything starts from the base. Then, what I'm saying, if you don't got no strong base, then the whole house gonna fall down, okay? So go to 1 Corinthians 13:5, right? So, and this thing here goes with like self-exam. The reason why I'm bringing this script out right here is because we know our own bodies, right? We know, and the Bible tells you, if you're dealing with something spiritually, you go to the Bible to self-examine yourself, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or like if we in the world, we get sick, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out what kind of symptoms and things you're going through, right? So definition number 6 real quick. Definition number 6. Go there real quick. All right, read that right there.
Charity, an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need.
Go down real quick. Hit more. All right, go there right there, verse 3. That number 3.
Kindness and tolerance in judging others.
Right. All right. So you see the similarities. Said you got goodwill, compassion, consideration, concern, kindness, kindliness, tenderness, You know, brotherly love, sympathy, understanding, fellow feeling, thoughtfulness. You know, those things there is what we touching on right there as far as talking about the kindness and tolerance and judging. This is the charity right here that's supposed to be, that we speaking about. So, all right, now go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 1 real quick. 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. I see what I did. Go ahead, yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cymbals.
Right, you don't have, you know, like you say, though I speak with the tongues of men, meaning different languages, I can speak different languages, or I can speak like the angels do, meaning I could bring out the word, like, you know, as a messenger. You know, you could prophesy, do all this, but if you don't have charity, you know what I'm saying, you don't have that love, kindness towards your brother, hey, it don't mean nothing, okay? Go ahead.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have faith so I can move mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
Hear that? You can have all that stuff, but if you don't have charity, all that stuff don't mean nothing, okay? This is what thus said the Lord is saying, right? Go ahead, read.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
It don't mean nothing without that charity, right? Go ahead.
Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up.
It's not puffed up, right? So jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fall. They shall fail.
Right. You know, it could be prophecies. The prophecies could fail. Go ahead.
Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
Right. Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity. There is 3. But the greatest of these is charity.
The greatest of these is charity. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you got that charity in you, okay? Go to chapter 14 and 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
But follow after charity. Got to have that charity. So, IT, give me that video with the bishop about charity. You got that? Yeah. So this is a video. This is a little quick short right here. You know what I'm saying? You got the bishop. He's going to bring out some information about charity. Go ahead, play that.
But you better have fervent charity among yourselves. You little grimy, hateful brothers and sisters, the Lord ain't dealing with you. He ain't going to save you. Read it again.
And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves.
Charity means love. Love of brotherhood, love of the sisters. Read it again.
And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves.
Why?
For charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
I don't know about you, but I'm not 100% perfect. I am not sinless. Maybe y'all are. I'm not. So read it again so we understand what he's saying.
And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
If you have love of neighbor, that will cover a multitude of sins. Everybody understand that?
You hear that right there? If you got that charity cover a multitude of sins. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. We hear, like I said, we hear rehearsing the righteous acts, right? We all battle, we all go through things, but hey, we gotta have that charity. You know what I'm saying? That charity is what's going to help you get to the kingdom, okay? That's a main thing there to get. So, and give me the next video with Captain Emmanuel. You got that. Play that.
Read that verse again. And to know the love of Christ, which passeth knowledge.
So the love of Christ passes knowledge. Again, knowledge is beautiful. To know the scriptures, to have understanding, to know the breakdown, to put precepts together, all of that, that's a beautiful thing. But the love of Christ, charity, that passes knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
That he might be filled with all the fullness of God.
Because You can know all the scriptures, but still be missing something. But once you got the wisdom and the application in terms of love, charity towards your neighbor, that's when you become filled with the fullness of God.
Right. So that's heavy there. What he's bringing out that second part of the greatest of the commandments, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you applying that, remember, you know that, and you love the Most High God with all thy heart and all thy soul, hey, you're keeping all the commandments. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have that charity. We got to have that charity for one another. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have that. A lot of us lack certain things, but you got to find out all the charity qualities, all the qualities to have, and apply that and use it for your brothers and sisters. Okay, we got to have that thing so that way you can cover a multitude of sins. You know, and Most High have mercy on you. All right. So give me number 9 real quick. About being overzealous. So this thing here right here, the reason why I got to bring this out, this is why some of us, you know, may come, you still be sick, you jacked up, and you still come to the school, and meaning you be overzealous, right? Read that right there.
Overzealous means being excessively eager, enthusiastic or fervent about a cause, idea, or activity, often to a negative degree, where the zeal becomes too much, annoying, or counterproductive.
Right? So this is, you know, you being overzealous, you know, like, you know what? So you seeing what the law say to keep the congregate. The law says, you know, we got to come together. We got to do this, assemble ourselves, and you know you sick. When you be like, you know what, I'm good. And, you know, you coughing and sneezing, or you still bring your kids, you know your kids are sick. Now you becoming overzealous. You know, you acting like there's gonna be a miracle, like you just going to get healed. I'm gonna come to the school and the Lord gonna be there, the Lord gonna heal me. That's being overzealous or over righteous much. Okay? And there's a lot of people that have that on them. Go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 16 real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 16. When you get that, read it.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. Be not righteous over much.
So be not righteous over much. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers be over righteous and be like, I'm just still gonna show up. If I come there, I'm gonna be healed. You know what I'm saying? That's that Christianity mindset. you just gonna walk into church and all of a sudden you know, somebody, you gonna get anointed and boom, all this magic and stuff gonna happen. No, it don't. It don't work like that. Okay. Read on.
Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise.
Don't be over wise. Don't think you smarter than others, right? Go ahead.
Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Because you're going to destroy yourself by doing that. Why? Because now you don't have no charity. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no love for the brother, for the congregation, or the sisters, or the children. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no love for one another. When you act like that, when you do that, okay? But now give me Galatians 4 and 18 real quick, okay? So, you know, some brothers get mixed up when they see these certain scriptures right here, right? So get that, Galatians 4 and 18.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 18. But it is good to be zealous.
Hear that? It is good to be zealously, right? Go ahead.
Affected always in a good thing. And not only when I am present with you.
Right. So what he's going into in here, you know, brothers will see that word zealously, and they thinking, okay, I'm going to come to the school and I'm going to do this. No. What he's saying is, you know, he wants you supposed to be zealously for the Lord, okay, for the commandments. You keeping the commandments and you striving for that thing. You want to do good, but at the same time you're using wisdom. You know not to come to the school while you're sick, you know. So you stay home, but you may still reach out and communicate and talk. You know, you would do what you can do while you're at the house, you know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna just come here and then, you know, you sick, you're not feeling well, you sweating, you know, you might have made it past the thermometer, right, you know, because that maybe your fever might have broke, but you're still contagious, you know what I'm saying? Or you might just at the beginning stage but you know you're not feeling well, you know you should fall back. You know what I'm saying? Have the charity and consideration for everybody else. Okay? So, but that's like the difference there, okay? You know, like zealous, you know, you there for the law, you willing to fight for the law, you know, for God's commandments. That's what being zealously mean. So, and the other thing is this right here, it says I had to put in here, a lot of y'all scared to go to the doctor. A lot of people scared, and they stay home and they misdiagnose themselves. You know what I'm saying? They be like, I'm good, man. I'm just sitting back, man. Ain't nothing but the flu. I can shake this off. I'm gonna make this conjunction or whatever. I'm gonna make this Russian tea, and I'm gonna drink this, and I'm gonna sweat it on out. I'm good to go. I'm coming to the school. I'm coming to the Sabbath, brothers. I'm coming to the Sabbath, sisters. You know how y'all sisters do. And you come up in there, the head wrap all wet and sweaty because you got a fever. You know what I'm saying? You brothers come in there, you got snot on your beard and your nose. Hey, come on, man. You know, bro, you can't come up in here looking like Roscoe. Come on now. But let me see here. Give me that first video about scared to the doctors there. Give me that first video. If you got that for me. You got it? Play that. You see what Esau say.
There's a lot of different reasons people end up afraid of going to their physician or to any healthcare professional. Certainly, concerns about needles can play into that. There can be subconscious fears that people get that they don't even realize that they have. And there's fears that can be related to prior experiences.
When you come across this, what happens to a patient?
They might not even be aware of the fear that they're having. For example, I myself had something called white coat hypertension, which meant that when I saw a doctor, my blood pressure was higher than it was in reality. Other things that can happen for people is they might be afraid of needles or getting a colonoscopy, and they might miss out on things that ultimately cost them a lot of pain, a lot of suffering that we would have been able to take care of earlier on.
What can someone do to alleviate their fears?
The first thing that you can do, depending on how bad it is to find a doctor you're comfortable with. You want a healthcare provider that you feel comfortable talking to. Getting to them in the first place is a matter of willpower. However, once you've found a doctor, you should try to find someone that you're comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with that doctor, you should feel free to find a new person.
Other than not being able to go to the doctor, are there other health effects?
The health effects that come with the anxiety that people can build up over time can lead to other types of anxieties too. So if you're somebody who is prone to being anxious about this, that, or the other thing, and you find yourself not going to the doctor because of those same types of anxieties, that can end up affecting your life in negative ways.
Is there a certain age group this affects more than others?
For children, usually the parents are there to help calm them down. As we get older and become adults, some of those fears don't necessarily go away, so you end up having those same fears, but you don't have somebody there that can help to calm you down.
Right. So I mean, you know, so that doctor, you know, is bringing out some important, good information there. You know, a lot of people are scared. They're scared of needles. They're scared of a past visit that they had years ago. You could have had a loved one, you know, got sick and they may have died or whatever. You know, and you know, all different type of stuff. You know, you done heard stories from other people. You know, don't go to this hospital or don't go to this doctor. You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't live in fear. We can't live thinking like that, you know, because what happened is a lot of us, we misdiagnose ourselves, then the condition gets worse, then you have to end up going to the hospital. Now you could have prevented that situation had you went sooner to get an early diagnosis, so that way you get the right treatment, you get the right medication or whatever to take to help, you know what I'm saying, fight that cold off, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is that, however bad it done got. But don't let that thing, you know, fester on you. You know, try to get it, you know, if you got medical insurance, I know a lot of us do, and some of us don't, you know, but if you do go, you got to go to the clinic. I ain't saying you got to go to the hospital, but there is, you know, what do you call it, little mini clinics and stuff that you could go to and get, you know, get a diagnosis to find out what's going on. So let me see this real quick. Go to give me 2 Timothy's 1 and 7 real quick. This is about dealing with fear right here. You know what I'm saying? That spirit of fear. A lot of us have this on us. 2 Timothy's chapter 1 and verse 7.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear.
Hear that? God, he has not given us the spirit of fear, right? What spirit has he given us?
But of power and of love and of a sound mind.
And of a sound mind, right? He given us those good attributes to have. You know what I'm saying? Now, but when we go outside and start talking to other people and getting these, you know, hearing stuff, hearing these different things, now you putting that spirit of fear. Now you getting scared. Now you like, man, I don't want to go there, man. They gonna take my blood and they gonna do this. Then now you got all type of conspiracy theories start forming in your brain. You know, it almost comes as you become superstitious about going to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be in the midst of all that. All right. So with that, go to Sirach 38 and 1 real quick. So let's see what the Most High say about the physician. Sirach chapter 38 and verse 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him.
Right, so for the uses that you may have of him, you know, there's different type of doctors. You got a doctor for this specific, you know, part of the body, you know, respiratory, you know, dealing with your lungs and stuff. You may have a doctor that deal with your arm, your feet, you know what I'm saying, your nose, throat, all that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to them. That they're dealing with, you know, something that you have an issue with. You know, go to the doctor, get that check. You know, get that wellness check to make sure all is well. Meaning, go get a physical. You know what I'm saying? Get a physical. You know, y'all should be doing that, you know, yearly. You know, so I think every 6 months to a year, you should go and get a checkup. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be going around without getting no checkup. If you is, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know anything can pop up on you. All right? But you can prevent it early if you catch it early, right? Go ahead.
Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him. For the Lord hath created him.
For the Lord hath created the doctor, have made the doctor to, you know what I'm saying, to help you out when you're going through sicknesses, right? Go ahead.
For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
Right, because the Most High, he the one that ultimately heals you, okay? But he the one he put that doctor there in order to practice this particular medicine, you know what I'm saying, in order to help you out, okay? Go ahead.
The skill of the physician shall lift up his head. In the sight of great men, he shall be in admiration.
Go ahead.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. And he that is wise shall not abhor them.
Hear that right there. Read that verse 4 again.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. And he that is wise shall not abhor them.
Right. He that is wise shall not abhor them, right? Because what happened is a lot of us will get sick. And then, you know, we all know about herbs and stuff like that, you know, to take them, you know, but we'll try to take them once we get sick. You got to take herbs prior to getting sick because the herbs help build your immune system up to fight whatever comes. You know what I'm saying? That way, if it try to hit you, if your immune system's up, guess what? Your osmosis Jones is strong. For those that have seen the movie, you know what I'm saying? Your white blood cells are strong. But you know what I'm saying? If your immune system is weak, is low, guess what? And you're gonna, you know, that sickness is gonna come on you and it's gonna hit you harder. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hit you stronger, but that's why you gotta build yourself up. So read that verse 4 again.
Verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth.
So the Lord has created medicines out of the earth, meaning you got all these different herbs that you had that you could buy at the store that you season your food with. Go ahead.
And he that is wise shall not abhor them.
Yeah, he that is wise shall not hate them. You're not going to hate those medicines. And some of them taste bad when you try. You know, hey, you got to remember, medicine that's good for you, it's going to be nasty. If it's sweet and tastes good, it ain't that good for you. All right, got too much sugar in it. So go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29 real quick. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which the fruit of the tree, yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
Right, you're supposed to eat these herbs, right? Not smoke them and all this stuff. You know how everybody done got crazy with it, right? You know, he said he created the plants for us to eat them, right? Go ahead.
And every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given you every green herb for meat. And it was so.
Right, and it was so, right? Gave you every green herb for meat, and it was so. So go to Psalms 104 and verse 14 real quick. Psalms 104 and verse 14. So we got to find out what are these things are used for. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 14. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle.
Right, so we know the cattle, they go out there, they eat all the grass, right?
And herb for the service of men.
He said herb for the service of man. What service is this talking about? Medicine. It's talking about medicine, right? Go ahead.
That he may bring forth food out of the earth.
Right, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. But he made them herbs for service, right? It's going into medicine. Right, so here's proof. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12, okay?
The book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restoreth them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
He said, thy word, O Lord, healeth all things. It's not just the medicine and all that. You know, it's the Most High's word that's going to heal you, okay? So, but the herbs do help prevent, you know, because the Bible tell you, get those herbs, use them, put them in your system, get them in your body, so that way that'll help prevent you from getting sick, okay? So that helps boost your immune system, your vitamin C, vitamin D levels, okay? So now give me James 5 and 13 real quick. James chapter 5 and verse 13. Once you get it, go ahead and read that thing.
The book of James, chapter 5 and verse 13. Is there any among you afflicted?
Read it again.
Is there any among you afflicted?
Is there any among you that's afflicted, that's gone through troubles, right? You know, it could be sickness or whatever. You know, go ahead.
Let him pray.
You got to pray, right? We got to pray to the Most High. Go ahead.
Is any merry? Let him sing songs.
Read.
Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church.
Hear that? If you sick, you know what I'm saying? You got some stuff going on. Hey, come talk to the leaders. Go to the leadership and talk to them, right? Go ahead.
And let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
So you got to get anointed. You know what I'm saying? Some people have pride on them and won't come to the leadership table. You know, they be sick. They're sitting there. I don't want to tell nobody what I got going on, man. I'm going to be strong. The Lord going to heal me. You know, that's when you get that overzealous, that pride come in. Hey, Most High wants you to utter that thing. Let it be known. You know, we're not going to put nobody's business out there. You know, it'll be amongst us, but we're going to be praying for you, okay? Go ahead.
And the prayer of faith shall save the sick.
Hear that? The prayer of the faith shall save the sick.
And the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
Hear that? That's heavy there. Go read verse 16.
Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The affectionate, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Right, of a righteous man availeth much, right? So this is the thing, you gotta ask for prayer and stuff. You gotta ask to be anointed. If you're going through these trials and these tribulations or sicknesses, because that's pretty much what we're touching on, okay? So let me see here real quick. Let's see here. I want you to go to number 12 real quick. Go to number 12, just to show everybody these different type of sicknesses. Number 12. You got that? The article? Number 12. Not the video. It's an article about new sicknesses this year. You see it? It's right before that video. Okay. All right. So while he's looking that up, let me see here real quick. Go ahead on and play that this one video, the one you had about the one with the herbs, the last videos I sent you. Yeah, play that while you work on that. Go ahead. Play that. So this is sister right here. She's showing some different type of herbs, the different things you can create. This is short, but go ahead on and hit play.
Nobody talks about how important it is to protect yourself from your own kids. They bring home the most
pause real
wildest
quick.
illnesses.
Like I had to bring her part out because kids, right? Cause kids, man, they bring the worst sickness to you, man. I'm talking about they be a virus full of germs, and they can have something, man. It be like a common cold, but when they hit you, man, feel like you be down, man. You be out. Yeah, you laying on the bed 10 toes up, hurting. But go ahead on, hit play.
So I gotta protect myself. I always make this tea. It's packed with vitamin C and antioxidants, and all you need is some grapefruit, orange, lemon, and lime, ginger, cloves, a little chamomile, and tilo linden flower. You can sweeten it with honey or agave, whatever you choose, and it will keep you protected.
Okay, hit the next video that go with it. The next herb thing should be 2 more. So I mean, I just want to show y'all you got these different type of herbs. Some of y'all have them in your counter. You season your food with and stuff like that, or you can use those things and make teas, make different type of medicines and stuff. You can you take those things and it help you out with different sicknesses and things that you may get, like mucuses and stuff like that. The stuff that we get congested, your ears get clogged up, nose, chest. You coughing up all this stuff, hey, this help relieve some of those sicknesses. So pretty much these are other things too that you can utilize, that helps out with your mucus, your lungs, with your breathing and stuff. If you got those things, some of y'all have those plants. Some of y'all may have them in your yard or have them in the house. Hey, utilize those things, you know what I'm saying? And figure out different ways how you can make a drink or make some sort of concoction with it, okay? So send this to y'all. And read that right there if you can.
Recent symptoms have included, but is not limited to, throat dryness or irritation, funny feeling in the throat, fever, cough, chest pains, body aches, joint aches, difficulty in breathing, lightheadedness.
So just let you know, you get these little symptoms and things that you feel in this right here. Just be careful. Don't come to the school, because that stuff can spread, you know what I'm saying? And it affect everybody differently, all right? But let's see. Go ahead on to play Captain Emmanuel. Go ahead and play Officer Emmanuel's video real quick. We'll let everybody watch that real quick. So just listen to what he got to say. He's bringing out some good information. Go ahead on and play that.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Josiah and Christ bless you all, brothers and sisters.
Turn it up.
Hope everybody's doing okay. This is Officer Emmanuel with IUIC Dallas. So this message I'm making is on behalf of the medical team. All right. So as we can see, we already at a cold season. The winter is here, and you know what always comes with that? Lots of upper respiratory viral infection. All right, like flu, COVID, RSV, rhinovirus, parainfluenza, etc. There's so many of them. So brothers, sisters, please help us help you to mitigate and eradicate this problem becoming an epidemic within each school, because what we're trying to avoid as much as possible, as much as we can, is schools being shut down for Sabbath. So what ends up happening, or what leads to that most of the time, is some of you men or sisters feel some type of symptom and they all make it like it's nothing. And you show up to the school, you get scanned, and then you just go in, you don't mention anything at all. And what ends up happening is you're talking to somebody in their face, you're talking to people, and you're spreading the virus to their face and to them. Next thing you know, a couple of days or even the next 24 hours, they start complaining of feeling weird or feeling strange. So we're trying to control that. We're trying to make sure we do our best, and more importantly, the members in the body do their best. So what am I saying? When you have any mild feeling, mild symptom, whether it is, oh, I feel some dryness in my throat, or all of a sudden you started feeling something strange in your throat or dryness in your throat, because that's where it mostly manifests before it spreads all over your body. All right, mostly. So if you have any kind of symptom, I just gave examples, and even more, fever, cough, mild, moderate, severe, whichever type of cough or severity of symptom, please reach out to medical team, because medical team in turn always, the medical leads especially, they in turn always send it up to the league of physicians we have for the body. We examine it, and then we're going to give the final verdict. But in most cases, especially cold season, it can be a case of you can go to the school until the symptoms are gone. Because what we've been seeing recently is so many schools coming up with 30 different cases, 50 different cases, all in 1 or 2 weeks. That's a lot. And sometimes it can be controlled based off of how we move and we experience some of these symptoms. Whether it's mild, moderate, or severe, it don't matter. So please, please, brothers and sisters, help the medical team help you, please. Help us help you. We want to try as much as possible within our strength. We pray the Lord help us to help control these within the congregation so that people can still congregate during this cold season and schools are not being shut down. All right, so let's do our best in every way, shape, or form possible. All right? And please, if you feel any, again, I'm going to repeat it. If you feel any little stuff, don't show up to the school at all until you speak to medical team, because what some of you do is to show up to the school and then you go to medical team and ask, hey, do you have ginger chew? Do you have lozenges? And we start asking questions. Yeah, I feel funny in my throat, something funny in my throat. Come on, you should have called before you get to the school. You don't talk to 20, 30 people already and spread the disease on them. And next thing, I'm telling you what really happened. This really happened, okay? Not to draw out the information, please, let's do the best we can, brothers and sisters. Let's show some charity, all right? Let's try everything within us to show charity, all right? We've been nice asking you like this, because if you come up to the school and we notice it, you're going to be kicked out of the school. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. We're trying to secure people not losing time to go to work because of sickness, or kids losing time to go to school because of sickness, or ending up in the hospital in extreme cases. A lot of that happens during cold season. ER gets filled up a lot. It's a business for this country. Just so you all know, it is a business. They count on season like this for money. All right? So please, be your brother's keeper, be your sister's keeper. Let's do the best we can within us to control the situation by keeping contact and making connection with medical team in every case. All right? Lord willing, y'all have a wonderful week and Sabbath. Josiah and Christ bless you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.
Now, so IT, did you get that article ready for me? I posted it in the classroom. All right, blow it up. Okay, close that out. All right, read that title right there.
Why are so many people sick? Be aware of these 4 illnesses in North Carolina this winter.
So we in North Carolina, right? So scroll down. So letting us watch out for this stuff right here. Hold that. Read that.
Respiratory illnesses season is here in North Carolina, and one virus is already spreading at a rapid pace. Flu activities is rising across North Carolina, with 3 flu-related deaths reported last week, and 9 so far this season, a higher toll than at this point last year, according to news released from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Right. So letting you know. So they're projecting it's going to be a worse flu season this year, because there are more flu deaths this season and more people coming up with respiratory issues. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this state right here. Okay, go on it and read.
Though there has been an uptick in cases nationwide, early data suggests current vaccines still offer strong protection against severe illness. NCDHH says.
Don't get no vaccines, y'all, because that ain't going to do nothing but get you sick. None of us do the vaccines. Don't do that. We just reading the article, okay? But go ahead.
We spoke with David Weber.
With Dr. David Weber.
An infectious disease expert at UNC School of Medicine to break down which illnesses are circulating in North Carolina and how to stay protected this holiday season.
Right. I'm going to finish reading it up. It says, which respiratory illnesses are going around North Carolina? It said, flu cases at UNC Health have doubled for 2 consecutive weeks. Weber said, with the peak not expecting for at least another 6 weeks. So let you know, you got a lot of, it's starting early. Right? It says the COVID, RSV, and walking pneumonia are also common during this time of the year from the News Observer. Scroll up. Up. All right, go down. You don't went too far up. Down. Scroll down. No, scroll up. You don't. Come on. All right, right there. Let me see. All right, go down. Hold on for a minute. Is that right? Okay. Right there. So we spoke with Dr. David Weber, an infectious disease expert at the UNC School of Medicine. All right, to break down which illnesses are circulating in North Carolina and how to stay protected this holiday season. Remember, go ahead and get your herbs in your body, y'all. Which respiratory illnesses are going around North Carolina? Flu cases at UNC Health have doubled for 2 consecutive weeks. Weber said with the peak not expected for at least another 6 weeks. COVID, I already read that. Scroll up. All right. COVID-19, a contagious and easily spreading respiratory illness is caused by a virus. Anyone affected can spread it, even if they don't have symptoms. Over 1 million people in the U.S. have died from it, and its complications including long COVID, which is a chronic condition that can cause permanent disability. That messes up with your respiratory area. Then you got the influenza flu that's going around. I'm not going to read that. And you got respiratory syncytial virus, which is the RSV. That's something that hit a lot of kids, young, especially an infant. They get that, it messes them up. My oldest son had caught that at 3 months, and he had asthma for a long time. Scroll down. All right, they said walking pneumonia. We touched on a contagious respiratory illness caused by a bacteria. Most infections are mild, although the cough may last for several weeks, and people might not stay in bed when they have it coining it, walking pneumonia. But it can cause serious lung infections and require hospitalization. Scroll down. Let's see here real quick. So, that's pretty much, I just want to touch, just want to show y'all what's going on in our state. You know what I'm saying? What to be aware of, what to look out for. And I know we done had some people who's had some of those sicknesses that, or diseases that, I'm going to say diseases, but illnesses that came, they done came and went through some of the, some people that's here, So just be on the lookout, watch out, make sure to wash your hands. We got hand sanitizer here in the school. You come out the bathroom, hey, wash your hands, stay sanitized, stay clean, and then again, I hope the video that the Officer Manuel had brought out, hope that was helpful for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of y'all didn't, but now y'all watched it. Now, the shame is off, but I can't believe y'all didn't watch the video. But anyways, I hope y'all gained something from the class. We're going to close it out with 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. We'll close it out with that. We open it with it, and we're going to close out with it. All right, read what you got.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Hear that? Let all things be done decently and in order.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.